The bearish divergences we pointed out to in last week's analysis have played out perfectly. So should we just buy the dip as it's been the case this year, or should we be a bit more cautious going into one of the most important weeks in the stock market so far this year? Guys, we are entering a crucial week with earnings, with banks reporting this week, and with inflation data on the horizon this week as well, which is going to either make or break the stock market. Guys, it's going to be a very, very important week, and you have to be prepared. In today's video, we're going to discuss both the technical and the fundamental analysis on how to best navigate this stock market. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We do bring out the latest stock market analysis outlook every single Monday morning. And if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a like and also share it with anyone else that may also find it useful, guys. We showed you this chart last week, guys, and we've pointed out last week that we were having negative divergences here on the S&P 500 on the daily chart. And we said that even though we've made a new high here, we did make a new high with a negative breadth here. And we said that most probably we're going to see a pullback, and this is exactly what happened. And we actually did, guys. We had some aggressive selling days, and we've managed to fill one of the gaps here last week. Now we do have, guys, we still have 10 gaps to fill here lower, and we have 2 gaps to fill here on the upside. So remember, those gaps, over 90% of them, they fill quite quickly. So I would expect us to fill more gaps before we're making new highs here. So I think that the pain trade here would be lower, not higher in this case. So will be very interesting to see, but it looks like, and we'll go through a lot of analysis in the next section on how to trade the S&P 500 here, guys. Now before I go into more technical analysis, guys, this week, very importantly here, we do have the earnings, and we have the banks reporting here, guys, very importantly on Thursday and well, actually on Friday we have the banks reporting here, the big major banks. Now, a very interesting article I was reading this morning about banks hitting extreme levels in terms of loans losses. So they are actually, people are defaulting on their loans and not paying the loans back. So they are likely to announce a big increase in those loans defaults on Friday, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they are going to, whether they have actually improved or taken a big hit because of those high interest rates. So pay attention to that, guys. On Friday is going to be very, very important, okay, especially on the US 30, the Dow Jones. Is made out of a large portion of it is banks, is financials. So very important here, guys, to watch those. Also, guys, we do have this week, very, very importantly, guys, on Wednesday we have CPI data, and we do have a forecasted figure here of 3.1%. so that's going to be very interesting. A lot of people are saying that inflation is actually going back up, so very importantly to know that. I think even if we get a higher figure here, guys, we had previous figure was 4%. So unless we go above 4%, it's not going to be, crucial. However, if we do get a higher figure, then the projected 3.1% is not going to be positive for the stock market, guys. Even though it's lower than the previous month, it just means that inflation is coming down, but it's coming down slower than expected, which means that the Fed has to keep high interest rates longer than expected. Again, that is not positive for the stock market. So the stock market will have to go down to account for those high interest rates for longer. Now guys, let's start off the technical analysis here and start off by looking at the S&P 500. And here guys, we are at a very critical level here. We've discussed this in previous weeks, and we said that the 20-day EMA here acted as strong support over the last couple of weeks here. That has happened recently at the end of June there, and now we are right here guys. So it's going to be very important here to see how do we close today, and whether are we going to close below the 20-day EMA, because if we do, the next support guys is at the 50 EMA, which is at 4,300 guys. So it's going to be around 90 points in terms of downside if we do close below. If we don't close below guys, there is a possibility of making a new high here, and the possibility here guys is just because we have, look at those highs here, we have a lot of liquidity resting above those highs here guys. Crazy liquidity resting above those highs, which is going to be in my opinion, I think that's going to be targeted soon if we don't manage to make a new low. And guys, we've talked about this in our Discord community. It's all about this level here guys, 4370, 4370 guys. This is one of the most important levels you have to watch. It's actually two levels you have to watch. It's a 440, which is this level here, and we've sold from it perfectly last week guys, perfectly. There's a lot of orders at this level here. There's a lot of transactions being done at this level here, and there's also a lot of transactions being done at this level here, 4370. If we close below 4370 guys, that's going to accelerate the selling, and most probably we'll get to that 4,300 very soon. If we do go up higher guys and clear that liquidity during this week, perhaps on lower than expected CPI data, then watch this upper EM here, upper expected move, because if we do go up and clear the liquidity, that will work out nice for a nice sell position to go back within the expected moves. Remember last week guys, we went below the lower expected move, and by Friday we managed to close above the lower expected move. So that would have been a nice buying opportunity, especially that we did not manage to close below this 4370. So very importantly guys, watch those levels. We close below 4370 on the hourly chart. I would expect us to increase the selling here and go down quite quickly. If we don't close below this, perhaps we have a break of structure. If we close above this level, look for price to pull back down, and then look for this area here to be targeted at some point this week guys. Next we have Apple, and with Apple here guys, the only important thing to watch here guys is the 20 and the 50 EMA. So price is now trying to come back and touch this 20-day EMA. Is going to be very important to see how we're going to hold this. This has acted as strong support guys since the beginning of the year, and it's going to be very interesting if this support will give in, because if this support gives in, the S&P 500 and all the other major indices will also take a hit as well. So very important guys, watch those levels there. We are pretty extended here, so pullback would make sense. Now the degree of this pullback will depend on whether we lose the 20 and the 50-day EMA as support, and perhaps that will act as resistance, and then down we go from there. Next guys, we get UK 100, and guys here, very importantly here, we've managed to go down, take that liquidity, and as it stands now guys, we are pretty extended to the downside, so pretty oversold here. We are consolidating here on the 4-hour time frame, and we are just about to trigger a buy signal on the MACD. Now previous buy signals on the MACD on the 4-hour time frames have led to some nice advances, pullbacks up in the market. So I would expect if we do get that buy buy signal there, we do manage to get price pulling back above and cause a break of structure there, then I can see us having a nice upside. The first target, although an interesting target, will be this one here, guys, which is 7564. So watch that. That would be an interesting target. As it stands, we are, as I've said, extended, oversold, and a pullback higher will not be out of the question for sure, the guys, especially as we've cleared the daily liquidity, the lower daily liquidity there as well. So yeah, I can see a pullback for sure there. Next, guys, we get the DAX here, and the DAX has managed to, guys, we've 100% smashed this. I've talked in last week's video about this liquidity as being a target to the downside, and I was saying that I see this liquidity being taken in the near future. That was taken within a couple of days there and taken perfectly, grabbed perfectly there, guys. Now where are we here on the weekly? We are at a pivotal point here, guys. We've just managed, and we talked about this before, the 20-week EMA acted as support and support here as well. We've managed to close below it the first time in a very long time, guys. Now it's going to be crucial here whether we manage to either go back above, and this was a false break, or this turning back up around here and acting as resistance now, because if we are not able to go above these, guys, the next support is all the way down here at 15,146, which is the 50-week EMA. Very important here, guys. Watch this. Is going to be very important here, guys. And if we go down on lower time frames, we are actually seeing a nice reversal here, which does make sense because we were pretty oversold there and pretty extended to the downside. So a pullback higher 100% makes sense. And if you did catch that, well done to you. You know, we've cleared the liquidity. Just looking here at the hourly, clear the liquidity, an important liquidity on the daily, clear the liquidity, positive divergences, and we had a break of structure, came back in here as well now. So very important here, guys. I can see us going up higher to clear some of that liquidity there, and especially here the next target here is 16,211. Again, I wouldn't like to see price coming there if we want to see lower prices, okay, because if we do get out if we do get a big pullback higher here, then the possibility of us going lower is limited in the short term. Long term, yes, for sure, but in the short term is not. So again, perhaps that will depend. We have inflation data in Germany actually on Tuesday, so watch out for that, because that's going to definitely have an impact as well there. But as it stands, guys, the weekly closure here is crucial. And again, if we don't manage to regain and close above that, above the 20-week EMA, it's going to be very problematic for the DAX there. Next, guys, we get US 30, and on US 30 here on the daily, guys, again, very important here, we talked about earnings this week. So financially is going to make or break this chart here, regardless of the technicals here, guys. So make sure you are paying attention to those earnings on Friday. But before that, guys, we are building here a nice double top there, guys. So if we do manage to close below this level here, at around 33,600 or so, then that's for sure we can see more downside. Okay, so if we take the measure moved here of this double top, it will bring us all the way down to this daily IC, the one that we've discussed so many times, sitting at 32,500, the body of this IC. So that's for sure a target, guys, if we do close below that. And if we go actually to the 8-hour time frame here, guys, very importantly, we talked about this trend line here. We are actually getting close to it. So this has acted as strong support in the past. So watch for a bounce as we come there. And if we do break this trend line, guys, then look for a nice break, retest, and then coming out lower, to that daily IC that we've discussed there, guys. So this chart is starting to look a lot more interesting here, for sure. But again, be very careful here, guys. Okay, the earnings can push up to a new high for sure. Okay, if those earnings are indeed very positive, and if CPI comes in lower than expected as well. Next, US 100, same as the S&P 500, guys. We are at a pivotal point here. Again, we are retesting this 20-day EMA here. As long as we manage to stay above that, that is positive in the short term. If we do break below, guys, and close below the 20-day EMA, the next support is sitting at around 14,000 here, guys. 14,400, which is the 50-day EMA. Watch that very carefully, guys. Okay, very carefully. We have financials reporting this week, and that will not have any effect on the NASDAQ, as there is no financials in the NASDAQ. So the make it or break it point will be the CPI data, the inflation data, guys. Next, we need to talk about the VIX there, guys. And the VIX, we've managed, guys, finally to close above the 15 mark here, which was crucial, was a crucial level. However, on Friday we did close back below. Now we've opened with a gap higher, which is not to be ignored here. So price may try to go and fill this gap. However, if it's unable to fill it, guys, on Monday, then we do have the possibility, and the more we stay above 15, guys, the more bullish this chart is starting to look like, to look. And the more we stay above 15, the negative will be for the S&P 500. So very important here, guys. See if we manage to either fill this gap and then go lower, or are we going to struggle to fill the gap and make a new high here and go higher? If that is the case, guys, then the VIX can definitely go. The next target will be the 20 mark. We've managed. This was strong support, resistance. So crucial resistance here at 20. If we do close above 20, guys, okay, buckle up, because we can go from 20 to 35 in a week or so. Okay, so buckle up. That most probably that will only happen if there's as an event, if something breaks. And with high interest rates, something is very likely that can break soon. Okay, I don't know what that can be, but it will be very obvious once it happens. Okay, so it's like something will break tomorrow and you'll be like, that was right in front of our eyes. How could we not see that? Well, in hindsight, it's different, but yeah, for sure the VIX will become very interesting the more it stays above this 15 mark. Next, guys, we get the DXY here. Now the DXY has not done anything lately, to be honest. Has been consolidating here. A higher than expected CPI will push this to new levels for sure. And if we get a lower than expected CPI, guys, we can certainly go lower. Now the levels to watch is this daily IC here. Are we going to close below? Then it opens the possibility for more downside. However, I do see those liquidity areas here being targeted soon. They are very clean, and it does make sense for price to get there, guys. As it stands, not a lot here on the dollar to go through. Next, guys, we get gold here, and this is very important. I think this chart is starting to look more and more interesting. We discussed previously about this daily IC, and now price, we were looking for price to either consolidate here and have a move higher, or consolidate and move lower. Now the price is definitely struggling to move lower for sure, and we are now having the 20 and the 50 EMA coming very close to where price is now, guys. So what I'll be looking at is, I want to see, it's very important here, I want to see if price is able to go and close above the 20 and the 50 EMA, and then those EMAs would perhaps turn around like this and then act as support. And if that happens, guys, then we are looking for new highs here on gold very soon here, especially if indices will take a hit here, because the way I see things, they will pile into gold here. okay, or if especially if something breaks, they will pile into gold, so they will put all their money into gold. So this will definitely get a bit higher. So guys, watch the 20, the 50 EMA. If you close above it, definitely more potential for more upside here. If we do close below here, we do have the 200 now EMA that's coming and acting as support as well. So price is stuck between 20, 50 and 200, and most probably this is going to break either side very soon. Which side, we don't know yet, guys. The data is very important. However, if we do get a break above that, we have more potential for the upside. If we do break the 200-day EMA, then that perhaps will act as a resistance, and we can see price coming into this daily IC there, guys, and that will be another target to watch out for going long there. Okay, looking for some consolidation within this area there, but that's what we're looking out for gold. Lastly, guys, we have Bitcoin here. Now Bitcoin is at a critical level here, and we've discussed this in the past week as well. We've said that this level here, this blue line, we had support, and now we have resistance. This is critical here on the weekly. A weekly close above this level will definitely open doors here for coming up and clearing the liquidity, sitting at around 48,000 for sure, guys. However, price struggling to close above it, then it will, most probably take us lower to clear at least this liquidity. This looks so clean here, guys, sitting at around 24,800 or so. Very clean, guys. So watch that. It's going to be very interesting. So failure to go up higher will definitely open doors here to go and clear that liquidity. That's pretty much it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy our analysis, then feel free to leave us a comment, and don't forget to like the video, guys. And if you'd like to learn more about the strategies that we use, then head over to our website, mcitradingacademy.co.uk, where you can find out more about the courses that we offer. You can also join our free Discord community. Plenty of stuff to look at here on the website, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great trading week there.